Hello, Annatude listeners. So I have some exciting news. My Patreon is now only $2 a month. Patreon is just a place that supports artists and podcasters like myself, and it helps us make a little bit of money. So it's only $2 to join the Annatude Patreon. The Patreon comes with bonus episodes every 15th and 30th of the month. So if you're interested in getting ad-free episodes, early episodes, and video of the episodes we record, head on over to patreon.com/Annatudepod. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome to Annatude, a relationship podcast about love, friendships, and everything in between. With Anna Burr. I'm here with my long lost friend, Amanda. Amanda, say hello to the listeners.
Hello.
So Amanda and I used to work at Saks off Fifth. It was an outlet store. If you're familiar, it's in the Tanger Outlet Mall in Phoenix. And we met there and we became friends because she's hilarious. And we lost touch because I went off the face of the earth from social media. So I had no social media and I'm so bad at keeping in contact with people on the phone. So we lost contact, but then I popped up and we reconnected. So this is kind of like a catch up / her relationship / my relationship / retail / COVID episode. So we don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we're just going to be talking. So are you ready, Amanda?
Yes, I'm super excited.
Yes. So she has not been on a podcast before. So she was graciously, she accepted my offer to be on mine. So I thank her for that because aside from my mom and a few of my friends, who else is listening? I don't know, but people keep tuning in. So we are going to start out by talking about our time at Saks off Fifth. So I worked in the men's department and you worked in women's, right?
Right. I think I was originally hired in the men's department, but honestly, the whole store was pretty much the women's department.
Yeah, there was like 5 suits and no men actually bought them. That I never fit anybody, like the 3 months I worked there, I never fit anybody for a suit or a dress shirt or anything. So
I just would hold on to the measuring tape sometimes just to look official.
Yes.
And be like, yeah, I can measure you. But I had no clue what I was doing.
I didn't either. I was like, what am I measuring? I don't think anybody trained me on how to measure appropriately. Like if they were, conscious of like how they were going to get sued, I probably would have measured some guy's penis, to be honest. I would be like, sir, you're gonna have to take off your pants.
Actually,
I'm
need
sorry.
you to come into the fitting room with me.
Come in the fitting room, drop them. This is standard protocol to get fitted for a suit. So thank God that didn't happen. I never even came in contact with any men that shopped there. But it was an interesting experience. We worked with a lot of characters. Specifically, I remember the security guard guy. What was his name?
What was his name? I forgot his name. I just remember I always thought he was so hot.
I didn't because I thought he was a narc. I don't like narcs. But he was this big hulking black man. And he was just in the office, watching the tape watching the video cameras. And he would talk. We had walkie talkies and had earpieces. And he would be like, there's somebody, next to the True Religion jeans, go look. And I'm like, no, I'm not actually. I don't care.
Go customer service them.
Yeah.
And me being I was always trying to be the prize associate. I was just employee of the month 2 times or whatever.
I was never.
But I remember one time though, he legit kicked this guy at the back of his leg so that the guy would fall.
Oh my God. Is it ever that serious? Is it ever serious?
Apparently he had a knife.
Who brings a knife into an outlet mall? Your life is really gone down the tubes if you're kicking somebody in the legs for one, and two, you're carrying a knife in an outlet mall. But
yeah, I don't remember why. Like they were very serious about LP, but honestly, like it was so
LP is the lingo for loss protection.
Yes.
So for those who don't know the industry,
people that aren't in retail, I'm still in retail, so I say things like I know that everybody knows, but they.
Yeah, I truly do not miss working in retail because it's the most difficult, unrewarding job that you can have because you don't get paid for how many people come in. It doesn't matter how busy it gets. You are going to get paid the same, and people are going to be dicks to you. And then you still, at the end of the day, only made $8 an hour. So I don't miss it. I was not good at it either because I didn't care. It was a seasonal job that I got on my summer off from teaching. But I really didn't respect our managers because they were like my age. And I was like, why are you telling me what to do? Like, I'm an adult and shut up. And so that was mostly my problem. I had problem with authority, but I loved the people we worked with.
Oh no, yeah. It was such a fun group of girls. Like
it was
like a party every time you went to work.
Yes. I was actually excited to go to work just to chat, but our managers would always kill the vibe because they'd be like, you girls are up here. You shouldn't be all grouped up together. Like, go walk the floor. And I'm like, we're talking about sugar daddies. We don't have time to go walk the floor. So,
oh gosh, yes. We were trying to make more than $8 an hour.
Yeah, we were always trying to hustle because Amanda told us about this website. What was it called? Sugar Baby?
It was called like Sugar Babies. I think it was an app, but I was trying to live my life as a 21-year-old, like 21-year-old Amanda. I don't even know who that is anymore. But she was a wild. Fun time.
She was wild.
She was fun. And I got that app, and it was like Sugar Babies or something app. And
I think it was mostly for like gay men because everybody on there, like, because I downloaded, I was like, let me check this out. And I downloaded it, and it was like naked pictures of like skinny gay men like looking for a daddy, and I'm like, oh, this must not be for me. Or maybe I downloaded the wrong thing, but
I don't know. Mine was more like everyone was just trying to scam you, though. Like, I don't know if you got the same app, but on the app that I had, this guy was like asking for my account and routing information,
and it's like, good one.
Sure.
I'm not
but
dumb.
Then there was this other guy, and I think he just thought it was a dating app.
And he was like, let's actually meet up and hang out, and I don't have money. Like, I'm just desperate.
Just like, yeah. It's like, let's talk. Here's my phone number. And then he was like a bartender somewhere. I don't know. And I was like, do you understand what this app is?
Do you know what you signed up for, sir? You're supposed to be paying me to talk to me, no, you're not wasting my time. So yeah, we found out about the Sugar Baby website from Amanda. Also, I remember you telling a story. I don't know if this is allowed. We'll cut it if it's not. That you sent somebody to the hospital by sucking their dick.
So it's like, I feel like people probably won't listen to this anyway, and if they do, I'm sorry.
But if you do, truly know me, hit up Amanda hit me up. I'm her representative at Annatudepod@gmail.com. But go tell the story about how you sent somebody to the hospital by sucking dick.
Well, I don't even know exactly what was wrong with this guy. We actually had worked together before, but we weren't actually really truly connected. But we actually matched on Tinder, and then I was like, okay, let's meet up or whatever. And he was just really weird anyway. And I finally met up with him, and I went to his house, and like, I had no intentions of staying the night. And he thought I was like staying the night. We were having a sleepover, and it was gonna be a fun time. But I'm just like, I'm trying to get in, get out. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to hit it and quit it and dip. Like,
and he was like, what time do you want to set the alarm? And he wanted to go yeah, he was like trying to just like snuggle and go to
wipe
sleep.
you up.
And I was just like, do you know why I'm here? Like, I don't get it. And then finally, like, I initiated whatever happened. And it wasn't even that long that I was just like, okay, let's try and get this going.
Started,
so
yeah.
I go and I'm doing my business, and I was literally down there for maybe like 3 minutes, if that. And he just like, and he gets up and he goes to the bathroom, and I was just like, okay. And he's all like, oh, he's like, I came, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, okay. And he literally turns around and goes to sleep when he comes back from the bathroom.
Rude.
And I was just like,
rude. How did you go from setting your alarm and let's snuggle to turning your back on me? Rude.
So I was just like, and so I'm over here trying to figure out how to get out of it. I'm like, how do I get out of this? Like, I'm trying to go home, and this dude just fell asleep. Then a couple minutes later, he woke back up. And he goes to the bathroom. He's like, can I go to the bathroom? That's the other thing. I remember him asking me if he could go to the bathroom.
I would have called the police.
And I'm just like, this is sure, like, it's your house to go to the bathroom.
Why are you asking me?
And I just hear him throwing up. Like, it's loud.
Ugh.
It's loud, and he's throwing up, and he's all like, I don't feel very good. I have to go to the hospital. And I was just like,
what? Like, how do you know within like a throw up session that you need to go to the ER? Like,
yeah. And so I'm like, then I'm actually a good person. So I was like, I can, like, do you need me to drive you? Like, I can take you. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And so he literally, I was kind of just happy that I had an out, because now like he's leaving and I get to go home.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make sure he's okay, because I'm like, I'm a decent person. So I text him and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, I'm just at the emergency room. I was dehydrated.
What? So, okay.
And so this guy, I'm guessing he was already dehydrated, and because of what I did, I literally took, I guess, whatever
the hydration out of him.
Yes, whatever.
So, head game on 100. She's got that Gluck Gluck 5000. Everybody, that's. She's already taken, but I'm just saying, like, hit me up in the DMs, like, so I can hook you up with Amanda. But that's wild. Suck the hydration out of that man. No. Well, that's amazing. Yeah, so I've never heard that, like, that happened to a man before. So that is, and the fact that he was willing to spend the bread to go to the ER, because it's not a cheap, visit to just be diagnosed with dehydration. Like, he's gonna have to be, he's probably still paying that medical bill. So that's how much your head game was worth it. He was like, I'll go to the hospital for this bitch.
To go to the hospital. Then I'm like, he wasn't even planning on anything, I guess, or he just wanted me to, I don't know. Then at that point I was like, well, then why did you even invite me over if you were feeling even like a little sick? Because
he wanted to see like how dehydrated he was, how much water he actually needed. He needed to like a baseline, but he
needed to make sure.
Yeah, he sounds crazy because he was doing too much at the beginning. Like,
so then even after that, I don't remember if we talked after that. I just know he was always doing the most, because there was like another time he had invited me and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm literally about to leave work, and then I was going to go over to wherever he was. And then he's like, actually, I'm super sick. My eye hurts or something.
Okay. Like he's a hypochondriac. Like he's.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, whatever.
Don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah. No, that was a weird thing. I don't even know if I've ever told Daniel that story.
Well, if Daniel's listening right now, you guys have been through it. You've been through some years. So that story should just show you how great of a woman you've got. Like, you got the prize, Daniel.
I'm versatile.
Yeah, she is.
Take me to church, or we can talk about sex, I guess.
Exactly. And take her to church, the art museum, McDonald's, but also take her to an orgy. Just saying, that's a versatile woman. I love to see it. So yeah, so we used to talk about those crazy stories at work. So do you remember our managers there?
So now at the age that I am, I definitely know that was the most unprofessional group of management there was.
Yes.
Besides like Chelsea, everyone else was literal basura. Like,
yes, they were crazy. There was one girl, I'm not going to say her name because she's not here to defend herself. One manager, she was the head manager, but she would talk about like getting blackout blammo wasted and like all the Xanax she would take. And she would just be like chaining cigs like every 20 minutes and then come back from chaining cigs to like tell us to do something. I'm like, bitch, you were out there fucking smoking 2 packs of cigs. Why are you in here acting like we're lazy? Like, you're the one that's lazy. You're not doing shit. You're just chaining cigs, talking about drinking, and on Xanax. Like,
yeah, she never really talked to me like that. I actually had the pleasure of not always working with her because since she was the head manager, she made her own schedule, and I tend to close a lot. And she tended to be gone by 5 p.m.
Yes.
Or 2 if she
to go drink.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the misfortune of working with her very often, and she would make the weirdest comments to me because I think she thought we were friends. Like, she'd be like, we should go out and drink. And I'm like, no, I would never hang out with you under any circumstance, but I would be fake. I'm like, yeah, girl. And then one time she said, because I started wearing wigs toward the end of my career at Saks, she made a comment saying like, what's under your wig? And I was like, my hair. And she was like, is it matted underneath? And I was like, no, bitch, your hair is matted and it's just regular. Like, you just have really bad hair. Like, what are you talking about? And don't ask your employees that. So yeah, she was weird. And we had another manager who was always in some drama with like her baby daddy. And she was a character also. And I think she got my number and she used to text me and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you have to fucking work tomorrow. I'm like, you're the manager. You knew we had to work tomorrow. Why are you texting me? Like, it was just a weird time. And then the manager that hired me, I think her name was, I'll say her name, Bree.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, so Bree, the reason why I quit Saks, I probably would have retired from there. Just kidding. Is because she let me go home early one night, and then she was like, because it was always slow in there. Nobody fucking shopped at Saks off Fifth. I swear to Christ, on my life, like, it was never busy, because like the clothes there were like not even cheap for it to be an outlet. 2, they were like out of season, and that's why they were at the outlet. And 3, like, it wasn't the right area. Like, people in Glendale aren't buying designer. They're fucking shopping at Dick's Sporting Goods. Like, this is not the store for this demographic. I'm sorry. But so this girl that hired me, like, she was just annoying as hell. And one day she let me go home early. But then I found out, I think it was from you or Jenny, that she was like talking shit about how lazy I was. And that I went home early, and she was like, she always wants to leave. And I'm like, bitch, you fucking told me to go home because it was so slow. What do you mean I always want to leave? Like, of course I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to be like,
most sense.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to stay here. Like,
she was the absolute worst. She made me clean up throw up one time.
I think that's illegal.
Yeah. I was like, I make $8 an hour. When I worked there, I literally made minimum wage, and then I was too young and dumb to even realize that they never gave me the like 50-cent raise they told me they were.
Oh my God.
And finally, when I went to do like all my taxes, I realized I wasn't even getting paid what they said they were paying me, which I think is like illegal. But yeah, I was just like, I want nothing to do with any of you guys. So but no, she was the worst. She was like, I literally can't.
Yeah, she was a literally can't. Yeah, she would say literally can't at everything. I literally can't believe these people aren't buying our shoes. And I'm like, because they're ugly. But
yeah, no, I was just, she was terrible. Honestly, most of them were pretty like racist too.
oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. So back to the reason why I quit. So she was talking shit. So I like drove up on my day off to quit, and I threw my shirt in her face and was like, don't fucking talk shit about your employees. You're a grown ass woman. If you had a problem with me, blah, blah, blah. Well, then before that, I had wanted to quit because on the walkie talkies, the managers would always be like, oh my, go watch those guys over there. And I'm like, what guys? The black guys. You see them. I'm like, what? Because they're black? Like, are you kidding me? Or do you see those Mexican people over there? Can you go talk to them in Spanish? And I'm like, what? For what? Why? Leave them alone. Like, I'm going to tell you right now who's stealing. Old white women love stealing, love to steal.
Yeah,
love it.
They were, and then like super young white girls would steal all the time because they would just go into the fitting room
and put it on and leave.
Like they'd put it on and leave, and then of course like our racist managers weren't watching them. They were just like, go look at the minorities over there.
Go look at that like, black teenager looking at the true religion shirts. And I'm like,
no. I remember this one time she was like, can you go talk to them? They only speak Spanish. And at the time I really like it wasn't that comfortable with my Spanish. I always felt embarrassed because people always tell me I sound like a white person speaking Spanish, which I'm like, I'm
sorry, lo siento.
Lo siento. No, but I went up to them and I was like, hi. They spoke fluent English.
Of course they did.
They spoke fluent English, and I was like, they spoke English. Why were you saying to go speak to them in Spanish? And they were like, oh, well, I just thought they did because I heard them speaking Spanish. And it's like people can speak two languages. They can be
bilingual, bitch, unlike you. Yeah, that place was crazy. I also remember all the scams that used to happen there. Like people would bring in like fake credit cards or gift cards to purchase things. And I remember this one guy, he bought like $500 worth of like shirts and jeans, and his card kept getting declined. He'd be like, try this one. Decline, try this one. And on like the 7th card, I was like, yo, you don't have money. Like you're gonna have to I'll put these, I'll hold on to these, or you want me to put them back? And then come to find out, like from the security guard, he was like, I was watching the whole time. Those were all fake credit cards. And I was like, well, how was I supposed to know that, security man? Like I'm not I don't know. And who's buying jeans with stolen credit cards? And he's like, oh, they'll probably bring them back to get them cash for them. And I'm like, well, then we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, it was like FBI work there too. It was crazy.
No, yeah, that they wanted you to like go above and beyond for them
to stop stealing. And
for like, no, I was like, I make $8 if someone steals something, like that's
I hope
job.
They do. I hope they do, because capitalism is a bitch, and I hope this company goes under, because who's shopping at Saks Off Fifth? And Ivanka Trump sold her clothes there. I should have burned them. So anyway, so now you've moved on from Saks and you work at Kate, right? R.I.P. to our girl. R.I.P.
So I know what's so crazy to me is how insensitive people are when they come into. They'll be like, "Oh, she killed herself." What? Literally just walking in. They'll just walk into the store and they'll be like, "Oh, it's so sad she killed herself." And it's like, you realize you're talking in front of real people.
Yeah. Why are you announcing that? And I think people know, like, calm down, like.
Yeah, and then even like people they'll be like, oh, it's more valuable now that she's dead, right? And it's like, excuse you?
Is that why you're in here? Like that's
like it was always it's crazy to me how it's like, if this was just your neighbor, you wouldn't walk in and say this to like somebody
Did you know Cheryl died? She killed herself. Like, that's weird. Don't say that about Cheryl.
No, you're not gonna you're not gonna be saying all those things. It's like, you don't know what she went through. You don't know her struggles. Like, having money isn't the only issue. Like, there's other problems you can have.
Exactly.
So no, it's so crazy to me how insensitive people are.
So during the pandemic, have you had, because I love watching the videos of people not wanting to wear a mask, but choosing to go to a store and say they're not wearing a mask instead of staying their ass at home and like ordering online. Do you have any crazy Karens that come in, or crazy racist white bitches that come in and say like, I don't want to wear a mask? Or do you have to tell them, or what's the protocol at your store?
I'm not actually, I'm very happy that we don't have that too often. The thing is I actually still work in Glendale. So for Glendale, you have to have a mask. Like, it's the city ordinance. Like, you have to wear a mask everywhere. So for us, we try and always have somebody at the front door. And actually, it's a company policy for you to wear a mask in the store. So if you can't wear a mask, then we can tell you like, oh, we're so sorry that you aren't able to wear your mask, but unfortunately it's a company policy and we have other ways to shop. You can do a virtual appointment, or we can also do curbside pickup if you want to give us a call. So we have other ways for them to shop if they don't want to wear a mask. We can say that. A lot of the times we'll catch them at the door though, and we'll tell them then. And so it's just one of the girls, I love her because she'll do this. She's like, do you have a mask? And they'll be like, no. She's like, well, here's one.
Oh,
she'll just
can't deny it. One. Yeah,
you she'll just hand them one. And what happened that time when she did it is like a couple weeks ago. She did that and he just walked out.
There you go.
He just left.
Perfect. Like, you don't need to be in here.
We really haven't had people that are just like upset about it. I went up to a couple people like a couple times. I'll be like, hey, can we wear your mask correctly, please?
Yeah, I hate when people put it underneath their nose.
Under their nose.
On their chin. Yeah.
On their chin, wear it as an eye patch. Like, they're not actually wearing their mask properly. But normally I'll just catch people at the door. I'll say, do you have a mask? And if they say no, I said, oh, we have one. And then all of a sudden, magically, they had a mask in their bag.
Oh, yeah. Usually they have a mask handy. They're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about this mask.
Or I had this one lady, she wouldn't wear a mask. And I had gone up to her and I said, like, can you put your mask on? I said, do you have a mask? She said, no. And I said, oh, we have some for you if you want to just put one on. It's our policy. And then she said, okay. But she still didn't put a mask on. Proceeds to buy a handbag. And then she wants to, and then, so I check her out. I just check her out quickly. I give her bag and I let her leave. And then we go and get a new one from the back normally if we have one. And so she saw that with another customer. So she comes back into the store. This bitch was wearing a mask.
Of course.
And she said, do you have a new one of these? And I looked her dead in the eye. I said, no.
No, bitch. No. Go home where you belong.
And even if I did, I'm not checking.
Like, no, I'm not going to give you one.
You know what you did.
You know what you did, bitch.
Obviously, I couldn't say that to her. I still work there. I love the company I work for. I follow all rules.
Okay. This, for legal reasons, she does not represent the company or its entities of outlets and blah, blah, blah. Okay. We covered everything. So you shouldn't get sued by and her lawyers posthumously. So I forgot to bring up this. Do you remember we had a coworker and she went to amateur night at the strip club and you went to go watch her?
I went with her, yes.
Okay, so everybody, this is proof how little this company paid us, because people were like getting sugar daddies, stripping, stealing, all kinds of things. So do you tell the story about how going to amateur night went?
We went because it was also ladies' night, so drinks were $1 for ladies.
Ooh.
So we were trying to get that deal. We made $8 an hour. Like, we were just trying to get a deal. And then it was amateur night. And so she went up. We were like, go do it. And so she did, of course, because she had no problem. She had no issues. She wasn't shy at all. She's like, I'll go out there. And she did. And I think she made like $30. And she was only up there for like a minute or two.
Get it, girl. Make that $30. Did she spend it all on drinks right after she got off the stage?
No, she literally like pocketed it
and was like, let's go.
Yeah,
I
we're
got
not
gas money for the week.
Yeah, we were just trying to pay our bills. We even had bills. That's the
Yeah.
other thing. I don't think I really even paid anything because shout out to my mom and dad. Like I lived at home.
Lucky.
Paid
Yeah.
no. I didn't even think I paid my phone yet. Like my parents paid everything.
You're a young baby, just graduated college. Of course, you
Yeah,
gotta
fresh
make your
out.
way. Yeah. I, on the other hand, I don't know why I even got that job because I literally lost money from working there. Like I was like, how am I more broke with this job than without? Because I remember when I filed my taxes because I didn't claim enough and it was a second job, I got penalized. I had to pay $300. Like,
Because you didn't make enough money from your second job.
Yes. And I was like, what? Like, how am I getting in trouble for being broke? Like, on top of being broke and having another job. So yeah, that place truly was hell on earth, my personal hell. So you have moved on from, sucking the soul out of men and getting sugar daddies, and you're currently with your man. How long have you guys been together now?
It's been 4 years. We just celebrated 4 years in December.
Nice. And you guys live together?
We do. So we've been living together for about a year and a half. Yeah,
and how
so we
just kind of moved in together and apartment living. And do you guys feel like COVID has brought you closer or driven you apart? How do you feel about COVID in your relationship and living together?
Definitely it's brought us closer. Obviously we're human, and so being together in a tiny apartment for long ends, it's gonna get to you. So
yes.
So
what are some things that he does that you didn't notice before you guys lived together and before you spent like quarantine together? What does he do that like annoys you?
The one thing that annoys me the most, and he knows this, but he's just more like whatever at this point, is he leaves his socks everywhere. Like
Why do men do that?
Why do they take his socks off? I know that's like such a cliche thing to say, but he literally will. That's almost the only thing that he does that annoys me is he'll just leave his socks everywhere.
Well, count yourself blessed because there could be worse things.
Right. I live in like this bougie ass apartment and I have no business here. So yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Are you guys thinking about, I hate when people ask these like pressing questions, but I just want to know your journey. Are you guys planning on getting married? What's the long-term goals for you guys as you move through your relationship?
Yeah, no, this is definitely everybody's question. Like I have a Mexican family, but he's half Mexican. That's the main thing. They're like, when are you getting married? Like,
and having babies.
Besides babies. First it was like, don't have sex. Now it's like, where are my grandchildren?
Yeah. And it's like, excuse me, how do you think grandchildren come about, Mom? Like, hello.
So like, as of right now, I love where we're at. Like we're here, we're
enjoying each other.
Yeah, we enjoy each other. We don't have to worry about like the pressures of anything. Like I don't even think if we were to ever get married, which right now that hasn't been something we have said we want to do going forward. I'm sorry for everybody listening. Everybody tells me all the time. They're like, you have to get married. And for me, I feel like I have always had a dream to have a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like that's always been my dream, like to actually have a marriage. Even right now, I feel like I'm too young. I'm 26, which is old for
no, that's hella young.
For a lot of people.
That was the age that I was wilding out the most, like because it was like around the time I moved here when I was 24. But yeah, I was wilding out at 26. I was not locked down dating even. I was crazy. So you're doing it right. You're pacing yourself. There's no rush.
Yeah, like we've only lived together a year and a half, which is still like in the grand scheme of things, what's a year and a half? Like COVID was a full year. Like it's still going on. Like and it feels like it just started. So it's like in the grand scheme of things, that's almost nothing. I still don't know everything about him. Like we still don't know everything about each other. Like our first year of our relationship, I saw him maybe once a week. Like he lived in Mesa, I lived in Glendale. That's not super crazy, but that's like
It's
45-minute drive.
I wouldn't drive to Mesa, and I live closer to Mesa now than I ever have, and I wouldn't drive to Mesa.
Yeah, so it's like people would be like, oh, like that's kind of long distance, which I think is
Ooh.
and I'm just like, not really,
not in California. Like,
I know,
just get on the freeway.
For me, I'm just like, grow up. If you can't drive 30 minutes, like, just people like, that's too far, I'm not driving. And I'm just like,
calm down.
Yeah, no, they used to work like 45 minutes from my house, and then of course when traffic was a thing, it would take me like an hour and a half to get home.
Yeah,
so that's like not a big deal to me. So I feel like, to answer your question, at the moment, marriage really isn't something that we're striving to get to.
Yeah,
we want to be in a good place as far as our relationship goes, and if marriage ever comes up, that's something we discuss when it does come up. For us right now, like, I love getting to know him, I love being with him and living in our bougie apartment.
Love that.
And right now, like, we're both like, I'm trying to start a business, and he's running a business with his mom. Like, they run a catering business together. So it's like, we have so many other goals and ambitions that, like, marriage isn't something that's like, oh, this well, people like
to think that marriage is having a wedding is an accomplishment. But having a functional, healthy relationship is a true accomplishment, and you can do that without a marriage. And I think society puts the pressure on, especially women, that's your highest goal you can attain, and you get wrapped up in that. And like, it's not the highest goal you can attain. Like, it's actually not a goal that is tangible for a lot of people, and it's okay to not want to get married. You don't have to get married, or you don't have to have kids. So I feel you on that. So, and I just say, from somebody who almost got married, thank God for fucking coronavirus. Like, truly, I know it's been hell on earth, but I have a success story from coronavirus, because if it didn't happen, I would be getting a divorce right now. It prevented me from making one of the biggest mistakes of my life. So marriage is a scam. It's a patriarchal, like, entity. Like, it only benefits men. Women don't actually benefit from marriage, blah blah blah. Men are trash, you know the routine. Everybody's like, yeah, Anna's gonna say men are trash, and they are. And I say I say that to say, like, when I say men are trash, what I mean is not you personally. And if you're getting offended, that means you have some feelings about yourself. You're probably trash. But if you're not trash, then you need to be checking your friends, checking your brothers, checking your dad, and making sure that they're not either objectifying women or putting women in predicaments, make them less than, or that. Just make sure your friends and your family are also not trash, or else you're trash by association. So
also, disclaimer, because the people are probably like, oh, she's just never seen a functioning marriage or something.
Her parents have been married for like 900 years.
Yeah, my parents have been married, I think they just celebrated 35 years together. My dad was my mom's first boyfriend. Like, they're like, they've been together forever. My mom had my dad ask my grandma if he could date her.
Oh, like, that is so old school. I love that for them.
Yeah, no, my mom was like, not playing around. She's like, you're serious about me.
Lock me down. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's cute.
Like, so I've seen that. I've seen a functioning marriage. I know that can work. And I know that is something that can be a possibility for people. But it's just, I don't think that's my journey right now. Like,
you're young.
Like, 26. I still feel like a child. Yes. I still feel like a child. And I know there's some people that have been married for years and are my age, but like,
I also know people that got married at, in their 20s, and they're on their third divorce. So no shade, because whatever works for you. But I know a lot of people who, in retrospect, are like, oh, I shouldn't have gotten married, and I should have waited, or what's the point of marriage? So it just depends on your, idea of what your relationship's going to look like in the future. And if it doesn't include marriage, that's cool. Like, It's 21st century. Like, let's break these, like, you know, standards and norms that people have made up for women, especially. But I'm happy to see you guys happy and thriving. Because I remember when you guys first met and I was like, ooh, this is serious, because she's like all about this man's. And they are so cute together. So
Yeah, segment.
You totally, he turned a hoe into a housewife. What can we say? What can we say, Amanda? I'm just kidding. She's not a hoe. She's a housewife now, guys. So you're starting a business?
Yeah. Well, me and my sister have always talked about, and we've always been like, something we always talk about that, oh, this will be it. And we used to always want to have like a brick and mortar kind of like bakery is what we always talked about. Or I was always super into like fashion and stuff. And so I was like, oh, we could do like a boutique and a bakery kind of thing. But right now, obviously, in the times that we're in, we definitely want to gear more towards e-commerce. So right now I'm still, our website is technically live, but it's not done. So I need to like still work on that. But we want to, right now we've started more with just like cookies and I mean, I'm still working, but I still, whatever downtime I have, I've been trying to put it into this and working on Sweester's Treats is the name. I'm on Instagram. And
I will put the link in my show notes for everybody who wants to buy some cookies. And I'm not talking about the cookies you're thinking of, guys. I know you guys think it's sexual, but it's not. They're actual baked goods. So that's awesome. So I love that this journey for you, and I love to see. Literally, I met you when you were a baby, and now you're a woman now. Like, what? And I'm still a weirdo. Like, it's crazy. So to wrap this up, I always like to ask my guests, what is your favorite Britney Spears song?
Ooh. Oh gosh.
And there are right answers. There are right answers and there are wrong answers. But what is your answer?
Honestly, right now, the only thing that comes to my head, and I want to say it's like classic Britney, but it's definitely the only thing that comes to my head is Toxic.
Oh, that's a bop. That's a classic bop. I love it. That's one of my top 5 Britney songs for sure. No, yeah, that video is great. The violin in the background, Chef's Kiss. Yes.
It's just musical genius is what it is. Yes. I actually have a sticker of Britney Spears on my laptop.
Love her. Oh, love that.
And like, she's always in the corner of my laptop. So I love just like looking at her and be like, you know what? If Britney can get through, what was it, 2007?
Yes, when she shaved her head.
We can get through this. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've had Britney Spears days where I'm like, I'm going to shave my whole body and hit my car with an umbrella. Like, that's how I feel. But I have not, because I'm lazy. She has more energy than I do. So Amanda, this was great. Do you have any last words to your haters, anybody that loves you, to that guy you sent to the hospital? Any last words?
Honestly, I'm sorry to any family that didn't know any of this, or anyone that even listens to this and are like, wow, I didn't know that's who she was. And it's like,
Amanda she's an adult, and she's also a saint. She's on her way to Bible study right after this. So don't judge her.
Gonna go grab my Bible right now.
Yes.
But no, just follow me on Sweet Streets.
And then shout out your personal socials if anybody wants to lurk you on.
And my personal socials, Instagram, Strawberries Are Good. That's my name, Strawberries Are Good. And then I think Twitter, it's S-Berries Are Good, because you can't have the whole Strawberries Are Good.
Damn. That is your trademark. I do remember that. Yes.
Strawberries are delicious. And then it's easy for people to remember. They're like,
right.
Strawberries are good.
Yes. So that was Amanda, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the pod. And if it's day, night, wherever you are, have a good one. Bye.
Hello.